I'm Amy Scalia, and welcome to the Cincy Chic Show. This week we have a really awesome topic, and before we get started, I'm going to introduce all of the fabulous people that you see here. We've got Eileen Ross, she is the show producer, and we have Molly Wellman, who is our mixologist.
Hello.
And so let's just get started. We've got lots to talk about today.
Cool.
Today is our unique topic. It's all about aging, what we do to prevent aging, what we do to stop aging. And so we have a lot of different areas that are covering that. But first, of course, you know us. We have to start with a cocktail and something to eat.
Of course.
Yeah, we can't function on an empty stomach.
No.
So, well, Molly's gonna start her cocktail, which is called
It's called a rabbit in the moon, and I'm so excited.
Not mood.
Moon.
Right?
Yeah. No. Rabbit in the moon. Oh my goodness.
Like the rabbit is in the mood. Like,
Oh, I like that though. You guys always have these things on your mind. I don't know.
So Molly's going to start with the rabbit in the moon, and
Yes.
we are enjoying something sweet today. It's these delicious cinnamon rolls from Sweet Peace Bakery, and if you haven't tried Sweet Peace Bakery, it's a vegan bakery, and even if you're not a vegan, I highly recommend you try these. Mary Beth King is an amazing baker. It's all vegan, but even if you're not, they are delicious. I've tried her cupcakes and her cakes, and I am addicted. And her Oreos, which are her version of Oreos.
Oh,
they're amazing.
cool.
And so we have her cinnamon rolls.
These are vegan?
They're vegan.
No
so
way.
That means
No
animal
animal
products
product,
whatsoever,
yeah.
But they are delicious, and I'm gonna have really sticky fingers up.
so there's no rabbit.
No rabbit, no, nothing. But it's really great because even if you're not vegan but you're lactose intolerant or you have an egg allergy, I highly recommend them.
Does she ever do stuff with like gluten-free?
I don't think so, but you can check her website. It's www.sweetpeacebakery, and
That's
she does cater,
wonderful.
and you can find it at Coffee Emporium and Park and Vine and all of our favorite yummy places to eat, and they're delicious.
Does she do sugar-free? Because I mean, at the end of it, she's just going to do like...
Okay, what's the point? I don't want a sugar-free baked good.
No.
That's true. You have to
Okay,
splurge
and right into our topic. Something interesting about what I like most about our Cincy Chic Show panel is we have somebody in every age range. Age range. We have Amy, our 20-something gal.
baby!
We have Molly, our 30-something gal, and I'm 40s fabulous.
You are fabulous.
Thank you.
40's the new 20, I heard. That's what I heard
well,
somewhere.
Well, I don't think my 20-year-old
That's what I heard.
So anyway, we're going to talk. Stop it. We have a lot to cover. We're talking right now about. First, we're going to start with Amy. What do you do to prevent aging? Because you're in that age range that has to start thinking about ways to. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I forgot to put ice. I'm sorry. I forgot to put ice
What
up.
do you do to prevent aging?
Well, I mean, I don't think a lot about it right now, but I am starting to. I do a lot of under-eye creams. I'm starting to do that. But I'm a proactive testimonial. A couple years ago, I had really bad skin, so I was like one of those people, I just called in the middle of the night, I'm like, ship me that proactive, and so I did, and it made a world of difference, so I wrote into them, and I became a testimonial. They asked me if I would fly out to LA, and now I do all these commercials for them, and so sometimes they send me products that are not on the market yet. So I am actually trying out a proactive product that's for adult acne, which I don't like that name, so I call it AA.
That's like a 12-step program.
Right. Well, which goes perfect with cocktails. But
Yeah. Well, finish and then I'll shake because so
I'm trying out some products, and I love this new line that they're coming out with because proactive is no longer for teenagers anymore. They're realizing that this is working for women, and women like me don't want to stop using it. And if you have acne for a long period of time, you can start to get pock marks, and it can start to age you. And so I'm trying out some awesome products from them that are also anti-aging and anti-blemish.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
And I think I know what your secret is.
I drink good liquor. And speaking of that, I'm going to shake.
Oh, we gotta do the dance. We really gotta come up with the dance for this.
I know. That was Okay, Eileen always thinks I'm going to hit her in the head.
Well, and I know, because you think it's drinking really quality spirits as opposed to cheap liquor, right?
Well, it's really what it's about is using fresh ingredients and kind of staying away from the horrible sugar. You know, like the high fructose corn syrup and stuff like that, and the unnatural liqueurs and stuff like that. So using fresh fruit in your drinks is very important, and then actually using real sugar is, you know, as opposed to high fructose corn syrup or something like that. So I mean, I use natural ingredients in everything, every drink I use.
You've got fruit. An Asian fruit.
Yes,
in this one,
I'm using lychees in this, which is an Asian fruit that I buy it in the can at Saigon Market, at Findlay Market.
Ooh.
And
you're
because
topping this off with champagne.
with champagne, yeah, it's lychee, lavender simple syrup that I make, and fresh lime, and vodka, which we're using Gray's Peak vodka, which is very nice, and then topping it off with a little sparkling champagne. So
very nice.
Eileen,
what's your secret?
Yes.
I am very, you know, I actually use very simple, inexpensive skincare as far as like washing my face. Cheers. Washing my face. But I am a firm believer. First of all, I always keep my plastic surgeon on speed dial. And I brought him today. That's my one chic share that I'll let you all in on. And I'm a big believer in prescription retinol creams, because at my age it's all about, you know, getting rid of the fine lines and sunscreen. Never leave the house without sunscreen.
Yes, I believe in sunscreen as well. Big time.
I have my chic share, because we didn't get to chic shares, we have to do that quickly. Cage shoes are all the rage for spring. Wow. The Cage, and I found these at the Nordstrom outlet.
Nice.
The rack.
The rack.
Yes.
The rack.
I'm so happy we have one of those in Cincinnati now.
And if you were watching last week, we were talking about the rack, but a different kind, and you need to wear your coffee bras.
Amy, what's your chic share real quick?
I've got a white dress because we are promoting Night in White now on Cincy Chic. If you go to cincychic.com/event, you can learn all about our Night in White event that we have coming up on April 29th. And basically the concept is it's at Krumholtz Jewelers, and wear something white and your favorite piece of jewelry, and it benefits a local nursing scholarship. I got this dress at the Black and White Exchange, which is, actually I talked about it last week. It's a great place for you to bring in cocktail dresses, and this one still has the tags on it. It's a BB dress, and it has the tags still on it, brand new, and I got it for $49.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
probably
great.
the most important thing I'd say about keeping young from a young age on is exercise.
Yes.
From the inside out. And
Definitely.
so join us when we come back, and we're going to have Natalie Wolf, and she's going to join us to talk about Girls on the Run, a really important program that builds girls' physical health and beauty from the inside out.
Yeah.
So stay with us.
My wife and I were sitting not that far up, you know, kind of between home and first base, and was actually there the night he got the hit.
As soon as it happened, I think everybody kind of looked around and knew that, you know, this is something to be remembered.
For me, it was the most unforgettable scene on a field of anything I've seen in all the years I've been broadcasting Reds baseball. As
a young player, this is what you want to try to become, is somebody that puts up numbers and things like that.
Hi, welcome back to the Cincy Chic Show. I'm Eileen Ross, and we are so pleased to be joined by Natalie Wolf, a coach for Girls on the Run, an amazing mentoring program for young women that teaches them not only how to be runners and learn a lifelong valuable lesson of exercise, but it's a great mentoring program that teaches them self-esteem.
Yes.
And
Very
Natalie
important.
is here to tell us
Very
all
important.
about the program and their upcoming 5K race, which anyone can run, not just the girls.
That's right.
That's so cool.
That's right. The girls are training for the New Balance Girls on the Run 5K race.
Great.
It's a family-friendly event at Paul Brown Stadium on May 7th.
Fun.
Very cool.
Every girl will run with a running buddy of her choosing, which can be a dad, a brother, a sister, a mother, or a coach. And the only criteria is that the running buddy has to be 16 years old and willing to run at the girl's pace, because this 5K is all about the girl. It's all about the girl crossing the finish line and getting that medal and accomplishing something she didn't know she could do.
That's
That
great.
is
Now
very
16
cool.
years old
To
and
be a
older?
mentor, to be a
or-
running buddy.
Got it, got it.
And
Yeah.
how old are the girls that are in the program?
The girls in Girls on the Run are either 3rd grade through 5th grade or 6th grade through 8th grade. There are 2 separate programs. Girls on the Run actually is the younger girls, and I coach a program called Girls on Track, which is the older 6th through 8th grade part of Girls on the Run.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, those are such influential times in girls' lives, and I love that you've separated it because they're kind of 2 different animals.
They
You know?
are.
And there's different things going through their minds and through their bodies chemically. You know.
Yeah.
And I love that it's not just about the exercise. It's about strengthening them from the inside out.
Exactly.
Because, you know, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, talking about beauty here today. And even though we're going to be talking about Botox and we're talking about creams and lotions and serums and all of that, emotions and all of that also are intertwined into inner beauty. So
True.
Well, these are all topics that are formally incorporated into the Girls on the Run, Girls on Track curriculum, and each curriculum is different for the age groups. So the Girls on Track curriculum is kind of, think about it as getting girls on track for what they're going to experience
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we talk about the images that they're accosted with every
Yes.
day,
Yes.
magazines,
Yes.
and you know
Right.
what is real beauty, what's physical beauty, what's inner beauty.
It's true.
We talk about bullying, we talk about drug use, cigarettes and marijuana and
Right.
alcohol use and how that makes you feel, and every topic is also an experiential learning process. We have warm-up exercises that are precursors to the actual training runs.
Yep.
Where the girls get to physically, through running, experience what it's like to maybe be coerced by a friend or experience peer pressure or
Right.
bully somebody. And then after the warm-up period, and the discussion, we always have a training run.
Yeah.
And for these girls, to run a 5K race, which is 3.1 miles,
That's
that
huge.
that
Yeah.
is huge.
Yeah.
That is huge.
I can't run for, I mean, that's a huge.
Because you're always
Yeah.
in stilettos. She'll never get out for a stiletto.
Well, it depends what kind
You're
of
saying I can't run a race in stilettos? I challenge you.
There are races
Now
you can run in
that's
stilettos.
that's good.
I take the garbage out in stilettos. Hey, you've been a runner for a really long time.
Yeah.
Natalie and I are close friends, and I know this. But how did you get involved in this? Because this is a really amazing personal
Yes.
commitment that you've made.
Well, when I heard about Girls on the Run years ago, before it was in Cincinnati.
How long has it been around? I'm sorry
I
to
think
interrupt.
it's been in Cincinnati less than 10 years, maybe
Okay.
5 years. I've been running long distances about 10 years.
Wow.
And when I run marathons, and when I ran my first marathon in 2005, and I crossed the finish line, I felt like there is nothing in this world
I hear you.
can't
Right.
do.
Yeah.
I could, anything. You just give me anything and I
Yeah.
will do it because of the commitment involved in the training. And then I learned about Girls on the Run, and I thought, from a 3rd grade girl's perspective, to train for a 3.1 mile race,
Yep.
it's got to be the same feeling. And in
Yeah.
fact, Molly Barker, who's the founder of Girls on the Run, describes it exactly the same way. For a girl to run a 5K race who's never run at all, and
Yeah.
many of these girls haven't, it's the same feeling
Yeah.
of accomplishment. And it's something that you can't teach a girl. They have to
Right.
experience it. So if I can just tell you when the race is and the
Absolutely.
details.
Yeah.
Sure,
Please
please
do.
do.
That's
Okay.
wonderful.
So the New Balance Girls on the Run 5K race that's the official name, and New Balance is an amazing sponsor because
Yes.
every girl who participates in this program is given a pair of New Balance running shoes.
Oh,
They're
that's
great
wonderful.
shoes.
They
I'm a
are.
runner, so,
They're
yeah.
They
there
are.
to keep. All they have to do is complete the program. Oh, there are over 900 girls in Cincinnati participating,
That's
and
wonderful.
and Girls on the Run doesn't turn anybody away because of financial need.
That's
So
great.
more than 500 girls are on scholarship.
Wow.
You can register for the 5K race at the Girls on the Run website or link to it through Facebook, and it's only $15. But you will also have the option to pay for parking, which is $3. Girls on the Run buys out all the parking lots at Paul Brown Stadium. And what they really hope that you do, if you can, is to pay the $3 parking when you register.
Sure.
Because all of those girls who are on scholarship, the money has to come somewhere. So Girls on the Run also has a fundraising arm called Soulmates, and they fundraise solely for girls on the run, so girls can have this experience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a runner and I've done marathons before, and there, like you said, there's nothing like the accomplishment of it, and it gives you so much self-esteem once you have worked so hard for it and accomplished something that you never thought you could accomplish. And that's a memory and a lesson that they keep relearning throughout their life. I did that, so I can do this. I did this, so I can do that. So you are just you're just changing these.
And what's the website where people can get the information?
It's GOTR Cincy. I don't know if it's .com or .org.
We'll have the website and the story right under the video that you're watching here today. So thank you so much for coming on and showing us what true beauty is, and sharing with our next generation what true beauty is. So
and we have a couple of other great events to share with you. Visionary in Voices is a unique organization that offers people with disabilities space where they can produce artwork and have exhibition opportunities. And their amazing Double Vision event is Saturday the 23rd from 7 to 10 p.m. at Memorial Hall. Collaborative artwork made by established Cincinnati artworks and the V&V artist is up for auction. There's music and cocktails, and the tickets are $50 per person. And for more information, you can go to visionariesinvoices.com. And also, we all love fashion, don't we? And this week, the Junior League of Cincinnati's Sin City Style Spring 2011 Fashion Show is this Thursday from 7 to 10 at the Scene Ultra Lounge. They'll have fashions from Fetish Boutique and jewelry from one of our favorites, Stella and Di. Love them. They're going to have a VIP lounge if you are so inclined. But they're very generous in giving us 2 free tickets to the show to the first viewer to post "I love the Cincy Chic Show" on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/CincyChic. And for more information on the show, go to www.jlcincinnati.org. And when we come back, we will have Dr. Lawrence Kurtzman, and he's going to be here talking to us about Botox and other little spring freshen ups.
I like that. It sounds so pleasant. It doesn't have needles.
It's a fresher.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Pete do anything to get the team better. You asking him to go to third, to go to the outfield, he go out there and do his best.
What I needed was
for a guy like Pete to come and say something like he said.
he's the best player I've ever played with. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
In typical Pete Rose fashion, he ended all suspense in his first at bat. As soon as he pulled up, the roar began.
Welcome back to the Cincy Chic Show. We are here for the other part of our beauty episode. So we have Eileen Ross here and her friend Gina, who has so graciously volunteered herself to show us what it actually is like to get Botox. And we have Dr. Kurtzman here with Kurtzman Plastic Surgery. He just started his brand new practice. That was a few months ago, several months ago.
Yeah, it was last July I started, so it's going on a year now.
That's great. So how's it going?
It's been great. It's been so nice. I've been able to do exactly what I want to do for the patients. It's much more private, much more personal. When you call, you get me, you get my nurse. I mean, it's just so much nicer. I'm really thrilled to be there.
Great, and your office is in Kenwood, right?
Yes, right behind Macy's, the town center. People love coming to the town center and just stop across the street.
Buy some shoes.
That's right.
Some shoes.
Some Botox.
Right, and then you can go have your drink.
Right. I like that.
That's right, and it's a beautiful office. You have a rock and roll room.
We do have a rock and roll room. We got a little.
It's decorated with rock and roll paraphernalia.
Yeah, you got to sell it.
Nice.
It's all
Very snazzy.
Very cool, very cool. So you're going to tell us a little bit about what it's like to get Botox and just a little bit about it. And I know, Gina, is this your first time?
This is my first time having anything like this at all. So.
And also some other ways that we can freshen up for the spring and summer, get ready for maybe bathing suit season, which
sure,
is
it is
summertime.
I can't believe it.
It's cold outside, but I know that it's,
It is snowing, but soon it will be sunny.
Right.
It does come around, but this is actually the busiest time of year for us. People really want to look great for the summer. They're taking off all the heavy clothes. They're thinking about going to the beach, going to the pools. They're thinking about, you know, exposing more of themselves to the elements.
Right.
So this is a time when people come in not only for a lot of the non-surgical things, such as Botox, which we're talking about, some of the fillers, but also some of the surgical procedures. Very common this time of year are the breast enlargement, the tummy tucks, a lot of liposuction, because people want to look good in their bathing suits.
Right.
So we really get very busy at this time of year.
And what are, besides Botox and what are when you talk about fillers, I have had some fillers and some Botox, because again, I'm the older person, and I am now looking towards things to not make myself younger, but keep myself looking the same. What are some of those non-surgical ways that we can keep our looks?
Well, there's so many things. I mean, our skin, our face, and our hands are the two things that are exposed to the outside elements all the time. So what we need to do is to take really good care of your skin, and people say, well, I just put this moisturizer or that moisturizer, but there's so much more we can do, from a great skincare program, which can really change a lot of the sun damage that we have. Many that are our age and you needed someone in their 50s.
I'm not the old person.
Maybe next week you'll get someone in their 60s. But growing up, we didn't really know about sun damage, and we used to sit at the Jersey Shore and with our little mirrors on, and women would put the baby oil on.
I did that. See, it's not even
go.
that generation. I remember doing that and just baking and didn't even care.
You were supposed to know better.
I know.
But there are some things we can do. Some of the fruit acid peels, some of the micro peels, which actually take away the outer layers of the skin. Because you get the fine lines, you get the brown spots. And people just don't like it. They think it looks great when they're in their 20s because you have a nice tan, it looks healthy.
Right.
But we really know that it's cumulative, and with 20, 30 years of damage, it really makes skin look leathery.
Yeah.
So we really want to change that. And you can reverse a lot of those things with some of the skincare. There's some superficial peels that you can come in, you can put your makeup right back on, go right back to work. And there's some deeper peels that can do a lot more in a much quicker period, but there is a bit of downtime with those.
Like Samantha on Sex and the City, when she had that, like, the red face after the peel.
That she was wearing.
She was, So, well, that's good to know that there's different options. It's just not a peel, you're going to be out for a week, that type of thing. So.
But it's maintenance too. It's not a one-time thing where you come in and that's it. It's really a lifelong commitment.
Right.
Just as we're lifelong committed to keeping our bodies in shape with the great running program that Natalie was talking about. And then we have the great drinking programs that Molly was talking about.
All important.
You know, people talk about vanity, and we all want to look good. We want to present well. You know, whether it's just our clothes, our hair, but it's also can be a little bit more with some of the injectables and surgical procedures.
Right. Well, let's get started.
Do you have any questions? I mean, you're the patient, so it's it's most important. Do you have any questions that you wanted to ask Dr.
It's
Cincy?
probably a pretty common question, but in a procedure like this, what are some of the more common questions people have before coming in to see you or coming in for a consultation to ask for Botox?
So your question is what question?
That's a good one, honey. I like that.
Well, I usually go through a whole litany of things about the Botox. I think it's so important to be informed, and I don't like the word Botox party because it's not a party. It's a medical procedure and should be taken seriously. Botox, since it's been on the market, which is not quite 10 years, has become the most common aesthetic procedure that we do by far.
You hear it a lot.
You hear it a lot. It's really, it's a colloquial term now, just like Kleenex or some of the other terms, or Coke. But Botox, what it does, it stops the transmission from the nerve to the muscle. And what that does, it prevents the muscle tension. And it's muscle tension that causes the vertical 11s that they call them here, or the horizontal lines across here.
Do that now.
So what it does, it stops that. And it usually works it takes about 2 to 4 days to work, and it usually lasts for about 3 to 4 months. And a lot of people, once they start getting it, they won't stop, because it really does make a difference. It really does take away the tired look. She can't, she can't look mean anymore.
Yes, I can. I don't have to. Well, that's why I go to you, and I tell people to always go to a plastic surgeon or a cosmetic surgeon, and not go to. I think anyone can give Botox now, can't they?
Doctor.
Or
any physician, or actually a lot of nurses will give it now.
But I
too.
like a natural look. I don't like some of the really overdone people. I like to be able to, express myself and not have to say, I'm angry at you. Because I like a natural.
You might not be able to tell, but I'm really mad.
I think the thing is to look the best you can at your, at the age that you're at. I mean, I'm in my 40s. I don't want to look like I'm in my 20s, but I want to look the best I can.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So what about side effects? What are some of the common side effects?
Are
there many?
Yeah, there aren't many. It's a very safe drug. It's a very effective drug. And the beauty is that if you do have a side effect, which is rare, it wears off very quickly with the drug. But basically what it does, by stopping that transmission, it softens those lines. And the thing is, if the Botox moves or goes to the wrong place, probably the more common one that would maybe a little bit droopiness to your eyelid. Sometimes the brows will seem a little bit heavy, because if you want to get these lines across here, you have to inject there, and that may let the brow settle down a little bit, make it a little bit more difficult to put your eye makeup on. But most people are so happy with it. So many people, come back, and the happiness factor is very, very high with the Botox, which is why it's become such a popular drug. It's very safe, it's very effective, it's very cost effective, and it works really well.
They actually use it in patients with muscular, like too much tension in their muscles, and it helps to relax it a little bit. So it's been used medically, not just for cosmetic things, for a long time, right?
That's correct, and also recently it got approval for headaches.
Oh.
Now I have a lot of patients that'll come in and get the Botox for the lines, and they'll say, oh my God, my migraine headaches are gone.
Really?
I have one patient that would use the shots 10 times a month for migraine headaches.
And it's gone?
And she doesn't come back now when the lines come back. She comes back when the headaches come back. She went
That's
from
phenomenal.
10 to 0 of a month. It's really remarkable.
That
so
is.
for headaches, it really works well. It also works for sweating. Because there's little muscles in your palms, your feet, and more commonly in your armpits.
I have heard that.
But there's a lot of people, they actually call it life-changing by getting it, because it's so remarkable. They've never been able to wear anything but white or black. Everything goes to dry cleaners. They can't wear colors.
I've never heard that. That's amazing.
Very common.
Yeah.
So Botox, I mean, it's just today's wonder drug.
Yeah.
So many different uses.
Well, we got to see it.
We got to see it.
Let's show how quick and easy it is, because...
All right. Well, just so it is a medical procedure, and before the show, we did go through a lot of it. We signed consents.
That's true. We're not taking it lightly.
No, we don't take it lightly. So what we do is everyone's different. So she has these two vertical lines here. Some people call it the 11s. Go ahead and scowl for me, angry. She smiles when she scowls.
Gina's Gina's always happy and beautiful.
So basically what we do, we're going to inject in those muscle spots there to block that muscle. So just a little alcohol here, not the kind you've been drinking.
And Dr. Kurtzman has not had any cocktails.
No, he has not.
We would not let him drink before.
And I won't let patients drink before I inject it either.
That's good.
And
which is why the Botox parties are not a good idea, because
Correct.
people cannot make informed decisions.
Right.
Absolutely.
Just like they don't like you to get tattoos or after you've been drinking.
I don't have any.
So what are you doing now?
And we drew up the Botox, and we use actually an insulin syringe, which is a very tiny needle. So it hurts less, and also less incidence of bruising, because bruising is another possibility with this. And you've never done this before. And we also put some topical anesthetic on there for her, just to make it a little bit more comfortable.
You want to hold my hand?
No, I'll be fine. Go ahead and scowl.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so you can see here where her muscles are moving here, and you can see what causes those deep lines. So by doing just a couple injections, hold that scalp for me.
So you inject several different places.
You want to get all the way along the muscle.
Does it hurt, Gina?
No.
All done.
Really?
No.
Hold that right
I
there.
think that topical treatment.
Really? It worked?
Yes, it was fine.
Wow.
How come you never do the topical treatment on me?
Well, some people come in and don't have enough time to wait. People are rushed.
Well, there's usually a shoe sale across the street that I have to get to.
Of course. But if you don't mind waiting, it takes about 20 to 30 minutes for it to work. If you don't mind waiting. The other thing is, right when you come into the office, just ask for it, and we can give it to you in the waiting room. It doesn't look real pretty because it's a big white cream, but it really does make a difference. And again, it is a very small needle, and so for most people, it really doesn't hurt. I like to use it today just because it's the first time, and I didn't want her screaming on the show.
That doesn't make a good show.
No, it does not. Very good.
It's very quick.
Yeah.
That's great. Wow. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on the show. Thank you so much
you,
for
Gina.
volunteering.
Thank
and we'll definitely have to check back with you next week. We'll report back and let you know how it all worked out, because it does take a couple days to actually see the results. Thank you, Dr. Kurtzman, for coming on the show and informing us what it's like, and thank you to the rest of our guests that came on earlier and for showing us, you know, beauty inside and out, and that's what we covered here today on the Cincy Chic Show.
And join us next week. We have a really great show for you. We have our Chic Party Roundtable, a very special event where we will show you and tell you how to throw the best and most special party.
Yay!
Take care.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.